here, licensed psychologist here for your Wellness Wednesday. All of us have incidences in our past that have scarred us. We have wounds from our past. And when I talk to some people, either personally or professionally, a lot of people say, well, it is what it is. Can't change the past, so I guess I have to accept it. I want to make a pitch for the fact that, there are things that you can do to heal some of those wounds. And in therapy, there's an abundance of things that you can do with your therapist, but I want to show you one of them.
Just say no. Anna Maria, stop that nonsense. You are never going to amount to anything if you don't listen. You are not going to be smart.
So what was happening there? When we're younger, sometimes the adults in our life don't do us a service. They actually do us a disservice sometimes by perhaps yelling too much, perhaps violating our boundaries in some way. Now listen, sometimes we're guilty as children. Sometimes we are doing the wrong thing, but I'm talking about those incidences, and I think you know what I mean. Incidences where you are completely innocent, whether a teacher is yelling at you, a coach, or one of your parents, where you're like, whoa, I don't think I'm doing anything wrong here, right? So those times when the adults unfortunately are doing you a disservice. And what happens is that as children, we internalize that. So as children, we're not saying something like, oh, well, Mrs. Hill is going through a divorce right now, so that's why she's being hard on me. I'm not taking it personally. This is her stuff. It's not right what she's doing. But as kids, we don't do that kind of thing, right? So instead, unfortunately, we might internalize it. So that's what little Anna Maria was doing there. She was internalizing it and thinking that things were her fault, thinking that she was stupid. And so we unfortunately have had a lot of incidences like that from our past. So what are we to do with that now, right? Some people say, well, it is what it is. That's how my teacher was. That's how my father was. When in reality, we can do something called reparenting. Okay, so that's one of the strategies I'm talking about here. It does involve a bit of imagery, looking back into your past, maybe some journaling. It all depends on what you like to do, but it is a reflecting back on the past with the eyes of an adult, to go back to your little self and to say, hey, little Anna Maria, it wasn't okay what Mrs. Hill did. Listen, sometimes you were guilty. Little Anna Maria, you weren't perfect. But in that instance, I remember how hurt you were, and I remember that you really weren't doing anything, and it was unfortunately Mrs. Hill's error. It sucks. I'm so sorry that it happened. You weren't a bad girl. You weren't stupid. And this is when you look back and you're able to reflect to your younger self just how valuable they are. And while for some people this strategy might seem useless, you know what? Give it a try. Because a lot of your wounds from the past could be healed or could be remedied or bettered with this strategy. Because without knowing it, what we do as we get older is we keep those beliefs. So we internalize them when we're younger, and without knowing it, they stay with us. To the point where now we're in a job interview and there's these old kind of wounds that make us think, oh, you're not good enough, or oh, you're stupid, remember? So why not try this out to see if it works? It is called reparenting. It's one of my favorites. Give it a go.
You are never going to amount to anything if you don't